Thanks for calling Kevin Williams. Kevin Williams is currently busy and Kevin Williams will promptly return your call as soon as Kevin Williams receives your message. Please leave a message for Kevin Williams after the tone.
Hi, Kevin. Hey, pick up the phone. Hey, Kevin, pick up the phone. This is Billy Bob, and I need some help. I'm calling people and I'm talking to people and nobody's joining my business. Can you help me? I need some help.
Thanks for calling Kevin Williams. Kevin Williams is currently busy and Kevin Williams will promptly return your call as soon as Kevin Williams receives your message. Please leave a message for Kevin Williams after the tone.
Yeah, Kevin. Hey, Kevin. Pick up the phone. I need some help. I'm having a really hard time, man, getting people to come to this meeting, and they're not showing up, man. I've talked to 2 people, and they're just not showing up. And I'm not there right now, but I'm sure when I get there that they're not going to be there. Can you please? Hey, Kevin Williams here, and we're going to be sweeping around your front door today. I just thought I'd have some fun there. I really have a hard time believing that, you know, people don't see what are prominent barriers, growth barriers is what I like to call them, to your success. And, you know, and what's the deal with this personal growth in this self-development business anyway? You know, why bother with it in the first place? Well, listen. It was Charles Atlas who earned himself the title as the world's most perfectly developed man. And this is what he said. I love this quote. It says, truest success is but the development of self. Okay? What does that mean? It's so easy, you know, to treat personal development as optional. And few people ever take it, you know, seriously or take the time to actively improve themselves. But your personal growth and your self-development is arguably one of the most important things you can do with your time. I love what Les Brown had to say. I was listening to Les Brown today, you know, stepping into your greatness, and I really love this guy. But one thing that he had to say, I'm sure it'd be familiar to your ears if you're a person that likes to pursue personal growth and development. But he said this: if you want a thing bad enough to go out and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time, your peace, your sleep for it, if all that you dream and scheme is about it and life seems useless and worthless without it, and if you gladly sweat for it and fret for it and plan for it and lose all your terror of the opposition for it, and if you simply go after that thing that you want with all of your capacity, strength and sagacity, faith, hope and confidence and stern pertinacity, if neither cold, poverty, famish or gall, sickness or pain or body and brain can keep you away from the thing that you want, if dogged and grime you besiege and beset it, with the help of God, you'll get it. Did you get that? Listen again. With the help of God, you get it. I was reading in Proverbs the other day, and I love this scripture, and it says that the blessings of the Lord, it makes rich, and he adds no sorrow to it. First of all, align your priorities. You know, there's 6 balanced areas of life that must come into harmony if you want life to work, if you want, you know, the good life, as Jim Rohn said, you know, to taste good, feel good, you know, have all the things that we pursue. But it starts with personal growth and development. So real quick, let me just share with you barriers, okay? You know, and not, like I said, I just thought I'd have a little fun. You know, people call all the time. They, you know, they want help, and they really don't get it. So I just thought I'd have a little fun. You know, not to exaggerate. I'm sure if you're out there working your business, I am pretty sure that you've heard even more far-fetched scenarios of people calling and what they say and what they're experiencing. But number one, real quickly, personal growth barrier number 1, procrastination. Procrastination, this is what the definition of that is. It's the irrational delay of tasks, especially important ones. Okay, you ever procrastinated about things? You know, you start thinking about it and then you trip over your brain because you can't get one foot in front of the other. That's called procrastination. On a conscious level, you might want a specific result. You know what course of action to take, but still you remain immobilized. And that failure to act, excuse me, is what keeps you where you are. Okay, so personal growth barrier number 1 is procrastination. Okay, and keep in mind, you know, this is really important too. Keep in mind, we only procrastinate about the tasks that we value and at some level we know we'll benefit from. Isn't that amazing? The things that we know that we should do, the things that we know that we ought to do, are the things that we fail to do, and we spend too much time on things that don't count and too little time on things that would count. That's amazing. Okay, so barrier number one, procrastination. Number two, indecision. Every single action is preceded by a decision. And I decided to make this video. If I hadn't decided to make this video, well, guess what? You wouldn't be hearing this right now. You wouldn't have taken the time and you made a decision to listen to this right now. So it had a decision. It had an action. It had some type of activity behind that activity. If that makes sense. I'll say that again. It had some type of activity. Some type of action was behind the activity. That's called a decision. You decided. The ancestor to every action is a decision, and a failure to act can be traced back to a failure to make decisions. That is so ironic, you know. And the ironic thing is that not making a decision, speaking about irony, not making a decision, you've already made a decision. Isn't that crazy? Okay, so indecision. Don't let that be the barrier to your growth. Number two, okay? It's like a disease. You got to eradicate that from your life, okay? And number three, comfort zones. I love this one. Because comfort zones are all those things that we are too familiar with, often a point where we don't even attempt anything because we're inside a comfort zone. Everything is known and you have a sense of certainty that you can comfortably deal with anything that comes your way, but you've done it before, you feel at ease with it, and stepping outside your comfort zone, this challenges beliefs, you know, that challenges your ease and your perception. And so a person just rather just sit back and be comfortable inside that old comfort zone. But most of the limitations that we have while we're in comfort zones, they're all self-imposed. Self-imposed. So we're controlled by our belief of what we can and can't do. Isn't it amazing how procrastination, indecision, and comfort zones is what keeps people from getting people to meetings, picking up the phone, adding people to your business? And when you know that, you know, it's like I heard the story earlier today. I was listening to, you know, a man goes by and visits his old friend, and he says, hey, just came by to visit you, and he hears his dog go, arr, arr. You know, I'm not a very good impersonator of a dog, but you get the point. The dog is howling, and he says, hey, man, what's wrong with your dog? And he said, no, nothing's wrong. Nothing's wrong with him. Arr, arr. What's wrong with your dog? Seriously, why is he howling like that? Nothing, he's just sitting on a nail. Arr, arr. He's sitting on a nail. Well, why won't he get up and move? Well, it's not hurting hard enough yet. It's not bothering him that much. He's just moaning and groaning, moaning and groaning, moaning and groaning. Do you know people like that? They just moan and groan. I don't like my job. Moaning and groaning. I don't like what they pay me. I'm moaning and groaning. I don't like that I can't think of a cat. Moaning and groaning. I don't like that I got to get up and hit the alarm clock every morning. Moaning and groaning. Moaning and groaning. And you won't do anything about it because obviously it's not hurting hard enough. This has been Kevin Williams, Pitbull Living in the Market, just stopping through, and I just wanted to come and put this out there real quick. Hope everybody has a great week. This is Tuesday, and guess what? We're stepping into a new month. April is coming around, and don't be the fool. Don't be an April fool, okay? Just get yourself out of your procrastination. Get yourself out of that indecision mode, and shake yourself loose of that comfort zone, okay? This has been Kevin Williams signing out. You guys take care.
How many of y'all believe that God can do anything but fail? Oh, yeah. Oh, I know He can. It's all right. Would you like to sing a little bit of it? All right. That's all right. Come on, let's sing a little bit of it.